Now that we've seen the nominations from the Golden Globes and the Critics' Choice Awards, it's no longer a question of which actresses are competing in which categories, but rather which actresses will emerge on top of each category. The Best Actress category in particular is turning more than a few heads, as several actresses have walked away with Precursor Critics Awards, making us wonder who it will be that reigns victorious on Oscar night. Luckily, we at least have a pretty good idea of who the 5 actresses in contention will be. While it seems like there are 2 actresses who are fighting to lead the pack, momentum for any one nominee can change at the drop of a hat, and every day, it seems like a new favorite is being named. As always, there's no telling what the final nomination list will be, but given the extensive coverage surrounding this particular category, it sure is fun to try and figure it out. So, here are our top 5 predictions for Best Actress in a Leading Role. Cate Blanchett, Tar. Cate Blanchett may never achieve an EGOT like her latest character, the instantly unforgettable maestro Lydia Tarr, but an 8th Oscar nomination and 3rd win seems like the best kind of consolation. Blanchett has proven time and again that she can disappear into any role she takes on until she has completely embodied who she's called on to be. Lydia Tarr is clearly no different, as her performance has been singled out as a career best and the highlight of a film that has left a seismic impact on the industry this year. Though Tarr will more than likely be competing for Best Picture, Director, and Original Screenplay among others, it's just as likely that a Best Actress win for Blanchett will be the film's only trophy from the Academy. But that's not to diminish the gravity and relevance of the questions it asks about the current state of cancel culture and the fragility of fame, and how difficult Blanchett's performance makes it to provide a clear answer. It really says something about how good Blanchett is in the film that, despite 2 gold statuettes to her name already, and despite being one of the most respected actors currently working in the industry, she's still this year's predicted winner in many people's minds. Her awards campaign received an early jolt with a win at the Venice Film Festival, and it seems that she's been riding that momentum ever since. She has swept Best Actress awards from practically every critics association there is, which will likely be powering her to an easy win at the Golden Globes and an extremely likely win at the Critics' Choice Awards. Blanchett not receiving an Oscar nomination is out of the question at this point, and it wouldn't be the least bit surprising for her to join an elite company with her 3rd win.
You want to dance the mask, you must service the composer. You got to sublimate yourself, your ego, and yes, your identity.
Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Having said what we've said about Cate Blanchett, a 3rd Oscar for the Australian icon may not be quite as clear as it originally seemed. Everything Everywhere All at Once has been cleaning up in the nominations department, as evidenced by its 6 at the Golden Globes and a staggering 14 at the Critics' Choice Awards. As a result, Michelle Yeoh has not missed a beat in securing nominations for herself, even going so far as to win Best Actress at the Saturn Awards and receive a tribute award at the Toronto International Film Festival. And every single bit of her recognition is justified. If there's anything this reality-hopping extravaganza accomplishes, it's making us question if there's anything Michelle Yeoh can't do. It's no longer right to consider her anything other than a frontrunner next to Blanchett. The only question is whether or not she can pull off a win. Her co-star Ke Huy Quan is putting up a slightly stronger argument for Best Supporting Actor, but then again, he's not necessarily up against implacable competition and remains the prevailing favorite in this category. Yeoh has accomplished everything she needs to thus far, leaving her fate in the hands of voters. Luckily, much like other career actors looking to secure their first nominations this year, she puts forth the image of an actress who's just too likable, both on-screen and off, that not giving her an Oscar would partially feel like a mistake regardless of how good her competition was. You can almost sense how badly the universe wants things to go her way, especially since she's headlining a film that, in many ways, feels like a culmination of a career as diverse and genre-spanning as the one she's had.
Maybe there is something out there, some new discovery that will make us feel like even small pieces of shit.
Danielle Deadwyler, Till. If the Oscars were voted upon based solely on merit, then there's a reality in which the Best Actress race would be over, and Danielle Deadwyler would be taking award season by storm for her gut-wrenching performance as Mamie Till Mobley, the mother of Emmett Till, whose 1955 lynching laid the foundation for the civil rights movement. Despite the film's box office failure, it has remained on several critics' minds thanks almost exclusively to the strength of her performance in addition to its careful handling of such a horrifying moment in American history. Deadweiler has slowly been building a resume for herself over the past few years, and it seems that her scene-stealing turns in The Harder They Fall and HBO's Station 11 have prepared her to finally break out on her own with this film. In what many have considered a wrongful omission, Deadweiler failed to secure a Golden Globe nomination, though she immediately bounced back into the race thanks to a Critics' Choice nod. It's clear that her performance has caught on with enough people that she could make it to the SAG Awards, while potentially benefiting from the expanded pool of acting nominees at the BAFTAs. In a way, it's almost a disservice to how powerful her performance is that the question of her Oscar nomination is still up in the air. But she still has some obstacles to face, seeing as how the competition for this award is the fiercest it's been in years, and two prevailing favorites have emerged. Not only this, but should she make it in, the chances of her odds being raised will be tested if her performance is the only nomination the film receives, which is very likely. Nevertheless, there's little doubt that Deadweiler has at least set herself up for greatness, not just with the Academy, but the rest of the industry as well.
The lynching of my son has shown me that what happens to any of us, anywhere in the world, had better be the business of us all.
Michelle Williams, The Fabelmans. More than a few heads were scratched when it was announced that Michelle Williams would be campaigned as lead actress for The Fabelmans, despite several pundits predicting early on that she would have been a heavy favorite to win Best Supporting Actress. It's not a completely unsound thought to have, especially if you want to get technical. Her total screen time in this 2.5-hour film is less than an hour. Nevertheless, it's not so much a matter of how much time you have, but what you do with it. And given that the emotional core of The Fabelmans rests for the most part on Williams' shoulders, that makes her as much of a lead as young Gabriel LaBelle, who plays Steven Spielberg's stand-in Sammy Fabelman. Williams is a 4-time nominee, having previously been nominated twice in each of the 2 actress categories. She stood a fairly decent chance to win with each of these previous nominations, and while she's more than likely to secure another one here, it's far less likely to say that this will finally be her year. That being said, the unwavering support for The Fabelmans has had something to do with her moving performance as eccentric matriarch Mitzi Fabelman, whose life choices have a shattering impact on her family, especially her filmmaker son. Though she has yet to secure any wins for the film, she has at least received nominations from a number of critic circles, along with having a place at the Golden Globes and the Critics' Choice Awards.
And my kids mean more to me than anything else on the earth. Please, because how am I ever going to forgive myself? I can't.
I forgive you.
Viola Davis, The Woman King. It's perhaps our toughest prediction to go with Viola Davis for The Woman King, not only because the category is so stacked this year, but also because, like Danielle Deadweiler and Till, this may very well be the only above-the-line category the film will be competing for at the Oscars. But Davis's profile could potentially be boosted should the film remain competitive in artisan categories like production design and costume design. Moreover, her profile will likely be boosted simply because she's Viola Davis. She's the most nominated black actress in history, with 2 nominations in each category like Williams and a previous supporting actress win. A win for The Woman King would place her in the select group of actresses who have won both acting Oscars, while just a 5th nomination alone would place her next to the likes of Denzel Washington and Morgan Freeman, who are thus far the only 2 black actors to achieve this feat. Davis's history with the Academy is on her side, regardless of what the controversy surrounding the film, not to mention the lack of love given to it in comparison to other films, might indicate. Though not a blockbuster in the traditional sense, especially when compared to fellow Best Picture hopefuls like Top Gun Maverick and Avatar: The Way of Water, The Woman King has managed to position itself as an audience favorite due to its unexpected success at the box office, which was due to an ingenious bit of marketing that emphasized the film's action even more so than its groundbreaking representation. Davis has been right at the center of the film's praise, and the fact that she was the only one of the Best Actress contenders to be recognized at the People's Choice Awards, while not boosting the likelihood of her nomination by any means, just goes to show that she remains a popular enough pick in people's minds that alone may fuel her trip to the Oscars.
We fight not just for today, but for the future!
Conclusion. So, to recap, our top 5 predictions for Best Actress are Cate Blanchett for Tar, Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Danielle Deadweiler for Till, Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans, and Viola Davis for The Woman King. With an acute blend of Academy favorites, veterans looking to finally get their foot in the door, and burgeoning talents getting some much-deserved recognition as their careers are finally taking off, the Best Actress category is shaping up to be one of this year's more unpredictable ones, and we're all the more excited to see how things will pan out. What do you think of our predictions? Who do you think will receive an Oscar nomination? Let us know in the comments down below.